bring the beat back. I don't really listen to the feedback, nah. Told me that she good, she don't need Jack, nah. I'm real proud of the steps you took just to get to the place that you at today. I couldn't tell you to you straight, I gotta estimate. I wonder if I ought to go here with the best to say. Now go ahead, get me out of here, I couldn't last a day. I got the city talking about me like I passed away. Automatic is a habit, you should know it's automated. I've been getting to it, I ain't noticed y'all was hating. Brand new chick, she don't know the occupation. I just wanna know that I can hold a conversation. Oof, I don't know what y'all debating. I've been waiting for you, now I'm running out of patience. Running up a check, trying to run an operation. Went broke in the check and put 100 out of savings in. I can tell now that you ain't talking about nothing. I'ma need something I can calm down from. I'm gonna pull it with the bar down way.
Thank you, Coach. We are about 15 miles west of downtown Phoenix at State Farm Stadium in Glendale, Arizona. So this was the scene a moment ago. The Cardinals emerging from their tunnel, and we are ready for football as the Cards get set to match up with the Washington football team. The first game's out of the way. Time to buckle down for the long season ahead, and we're off in week 2. And they will watch this one land in the end zone. That'll be a touchback. A first carry for Kenyon Drake. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Now the pass, and it's into the arms of Hopkins. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 11 yards there, first down.
First and 10.
And DeAndre Hopkins with another catch. And let's face it, when Arizona made this trade, there had to be no one happier than quarterback Kyler Murray, who had been pushing his management to draft his college teammate C.D. Lamb out of Oklahoma. But when they made the trade for DeAndre Hopkins, they didn't need to do that anymore. This guy's an all-pro receiver. He's been the top 3 in receptions the last 2 seasons. And now with Larry Fitzgerald already there, and you add DeAndre Hopkins, the possibilities endless for the Arizona Cardinals in the passing game.
Second and 3 at the 46-yard line.
Three yards remain for second down. From the gun, it's Drake. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
Tackle made at his 40.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
An extra man in the secondary for Washington on third down.
58, right over there, Yeah. Mike, 58, right there.
Murray going to try to throw on third down. Escaping the pressure right. He may try and run for this. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
That's something you have to be aware of as a defense and have to find a way to account for him. And if you're not going to use a spy, you're telling your guys to keep your eyes on him, because when he breaks out and makes plays like that, all he does is hurt you.
Have to at least be able to contain him somewhat. There they could not. Murray now on first down. And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. Chase Young in there to drop him, and that will go in the books as the first sack of his young NFL career. Congratulations, young man. So second and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Shotgun now from Murray. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Christian Kirk, the man he was looking for, and it's third down.
Nice play on the football, and while it was tipped in the air and made everyone a little bit anxious before falling to the ground, you just know defensive players are taught to knock the ball to the ground. But early in games, emotions come into play, nerves come into play, and despite the training, the ball was tipped up. Fortunately for them, they didn't pay for that error.
Flushed out right. Open man is Kirk, complete. And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. Certainly not what they wanted defensively. We're hoping to hold him to a field goal. Instead, they're able to convert the third and long here on the opening drive.
So not only was it a flipping field position and a flipping fortunes, but how about mentally? You just described it. They were hoping to force him into a field goal there. Instead, they give up the big gain, and now it's first and goal. The offense has got them on their heels.
And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line. Reuben Foster, the former national champion at Alabama, gets in for the sack. Second and 16.
Right there, 56. You ain't going nowhere. Like 56, Mike 56.
From the gun, Murray. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Reuben Foster picks it. And a good return here as he takes it up past the 30-yard line. He's going through a rough patch throwing the football. 4 interceptions in that loss last week. Opening drive starts the game with a pick here.
But we did spend time with the head coach and the offensive coordinator and asked him, what did you see on tape? What did you see on film? And they talked about mechanics, making sure that he gets his feet underneath it, doesn't overstride, does a better job taking care of the football. And I think they're shocked as anyone to see the first one of the game here in this one.
Yeah, he needs to start heeding their advice. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, that he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to them.
They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
Washington first down.
A first down carry for Barkley. And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Decided to hand it off that time on the run-pass option.
Appeared to be an easy decision. Just gave it inside. Nice steady gain.
3 yards to go on 2nd down, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. Jumbo set. Now Saquon Barkley. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
They were not fooling around at all, were they? 2nd and short, and they brought out the heavy package. Almost felt like the super heavy package against that defense, didn't it?
Yeah, I don't think they expected that much beef up front, and it turned into an easy first down conversion. Haskins looking to throw on first down. Got a man, that's Quinn. A gain of 6 there on first.
Complete.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
A 2-yard gain on the play. And it's third down.
Let's get it.
So 3rd and 2. This quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. No score after 1 on EA Sports. They'll run it. Here's Peterson. And he's taken down inside the 30. It's a first down for Washington on a pickup of 11.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get him. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the first down on that run. Don't just ask for him. Show him that you're supposed to get the football.
3 tight ends in the ball game here on 1st and 10. Now a toss right to Barkley. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
This defense is really flown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense going to have to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
Play action. Haskins. It's caught. Smith. That was the 9th play of the drive, and they pick up 9 yards with it.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Play number 9 set to come here on the drive on 3rd and 2. It's AP, Adrian Peterson. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down and a yard.
This is our time. Let's get after it.
So now on 4th down, Washington will hand things over to their kicker, Dustin Hopkins. It'll be from the right hash, and it'll be a 36-yarder. And Hopkins' kick is good. And it's 3-0 Washington. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone, get you 6?
25-yard line.
Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so it shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away, but they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Throwing is Murray on 3rd down, eluding the pressure right. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted, throwing back across his body. Picked by Kendall Fuller. And he will bring this one back. It is a pick 6 for a Washington touchdown. Well, you don't want to coach him, Charles, to stay in the pocket on every play, but I guess that's the danger of getting outside of the pocket, extending a play, and making a bad throw. Turns into 6 points the other way.
Yeah, sometimes when you get outside the pocket, your vision actually gets obscured a little bit, or you narrow it down too much, and you don't see all the defenders in the area.
Dustin Hopkins on now to add the extra point. It's up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 10-zip.
Makes this Washington 10. Cardinals nothing.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
Cardinals take over 1st and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. But right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Gibbs. A big run there. 29 yards and a first.
First and 10 at the 49-yard line.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another first and 10.
56, the mark, boys. 56. Check 56. Watch the screen.
Out of the gun, here's Murray. He gets it into the hands of Larry Fitzgerald.
Murray's pass.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
A gain of 5.
The last few seasons, it's almost been sport for us in the media to see if Larry Fitzgerald was going to call it quits and cap off what I believe is a Hall of Fame career. But now he's entered season number 17, second on the all-time receptions list, just 171 catches behind Jerry Rice, and maybe he's found new life as he continues to pile up the big numbers.
And his throw's going to be incomplete. And give credit to Reuben Foster, the linebacker, getting a hand in to disrupt.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. On 4th down, here's Andy Leon to kick it away.
For the Cardinals.
Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. So well done there. And these punters, they get more specialized and better each and every year, don't they?
They sure do. And now it's really not the American punters. It's the Australian punters with their kicking academies and that flat drop and just kind of kicking the nose of the football. They're able to almost stop it where they want to, like a good golfer can check one up.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
And he'll take this one only up to about his 13-yard line. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. 10-0 our score. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in this second week of the regular season. Looking to throw, Haskins. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
Normally being a big-bodied receiver plays to their advantage downfield. Go up and make the catch, take the hit, and pick up yardage. But in this case, the hit was timed really well and popped it free from his grasp.
A good return there, 17 yards. And the Cards will take over, 1st and 10.
At their own 45-yard line.
Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football. And the Washington pressure gets to him. He will go down. Jonathan Allen, the former first-round pick, getting in there to bring him down.
And there's Kyler Murray being sacked. And in his first year in the league, surprising to a lot of people, he was the most sacked quarterback, went down 48 times. And when you think about the mobility that he possesses, that really does surprise people because they think they can get out of everything. But so often, those young guys who can move around a lot, they keep plays alive so long that sometimes they actually get trapped. Defenses are going to test him and continue to test him. I think he's got something. for them as he continues to move forward.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. From the gun, Murray. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Operating from the gun, Murray buying time to his left. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Intended for Christian Kirk, incomplete. It's 2nd down and goal at the 5-yard line.
They isolate Hopkins on the left side. A line of scrimmage, once again the 5 as they get ready for 2nd and goal. Murray to air it out again. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Intended for Christian Kirk, incomplete. Brings up 3rd and 5.
And now 3rd and goal following incompletions on 1st and 2nd down. Again, they'll throw with Murray. Flush to his right. And that's going to be intercepted. Landon Collins, the Pro Bowl safety. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. So time perhaps for one final kneel down before they take this lead to the locker room. He'll take the knee, and the final couple seconds will tick by in this first half. So we have reached halftime with our score 10-0. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report.
So Washington in a good spot. They got the lead. They will get the football as the second half gets underway.
And that going to hit in the end zone as we restart things here in the second half with a touchback.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense.
They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Again, it's Barkley. And he's got some space here. There he goes left side. Touchdown, Washington.
Ball carrier.
Saquon Barkley, 78 yards.
And Washington able to stretch that lead out even further.
Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing, and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Escaping the pressure right. That's going to be caught by Kirk. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down.
A nice catch there by Christian Kirk. Had 709 yards and 3 touchdowns in the 2019 season. I expect those numbers to continue to climb. This is a guy who can play in the slot, play outside, but the number one thing about him, absolute explosiveness, especially after he catches the ball downfield. If you don't make the tackle right there, he's going to take it a long way.
Brings up
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Running from the shotgun with Drake. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, it really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone, and especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
at their own 20-yard line.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense.
And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Brings up 2nd and 3 at the 27-yard line.
Working with a 2nd and 3. With Barkley.
And some space here. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Throwing now, Haskins on first down. That's complete. Terry McLaurin with it. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Brings up 2nd and a yard at their 49-yard line.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Here's Peterson. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. He winds up giving a yard back there, and now it's 3rd and 2.
It's a loss of a yard, and it's 3rd down.
Two, now Haskins. And he fires one, but incomplete.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target in the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him. Find him.
And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback.
20-yard line.
Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here?
That his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. picked up by Thomas Davis. And they're going to be set up in the red zone right around the 17-yard line. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
It's a game.
The first down screen pass, good for 5.
At the 12-yard line.
2nd and 5.
Now Peterson. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves him with a 3rd and 3.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
The Cards going nickel. An extra defensive back out there now on 3rd down. They'll try to run for it with Barkley. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard.
4th down.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. This from 25 yards out. Hopkins' kick is good. And the lead now increases to 20-0. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
And they'll work from the 29 on 2nd and 6.
From the gun, Murray flushed out right, going deep for Hopkins. And this is caught at the 20. Touchdown, Cardinals. DeAndre Hopkins, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Cardinals get a bit closer.
Zane Gonzalez lining up for the...
You got to understand situational football because they're playing with the lead here late in the ball game. So the back defender has got to be as deep as the deepest receiver. Keep everything in front of you, rally up and make the play.
Yeah, you would think they had the 3-score lead. Now it's down to 2, but 3-score lead here late, that they wouldn't give up a big pass play like that, but they did. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line, so bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision, loses him about 4 yards.
At their own 21-yard line.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense.
Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball. Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. With that grab, he now sits at 200 for his career, and maybe more importantly, a first down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now it's Barkley. And he'll muscle his way up to the 43 for a pickup of right around 5.
Taken down at the 40.
I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Back to the ground. This time it's Peterson. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there. And on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation when they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously. But at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
And he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple.
At the 50-yard
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
On 2nd down, here's Barkley. And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time.
And it's 3rd down.
Washington on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. From the gun, it's Haskins. And he finds McLaurin. And they're going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made here at the Cardinals' 36. 1st down, Washington. Haskins finding McLaurin.
And the Washington 1st down. On 1st down, it's Haskins. They'll set up the screen to Barkley. No gain on the screen there at 2nd down.
That was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or 2 miss, but that window closed quickly. Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. They go back to the ground now with Barkley. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. They'll go to Barkley again. A pickup of 5 yards. 1st down, Washington.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a 1st down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
1st down, here's a run with Peterson. He was brought down by Devon Kennard.
Brought down at the
tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. So it's Washington with the football here as we welcome you back. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. On 2nd down now, Barkley. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8.
No gain on the play.
brings up 3rd down.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. They'll keep it on the ground. Barkley, and he is going to have the 1st down, and that is going to suck the life right out of this crowd. 8 yards there. 1st down, Washington.
I've got an idea. Let's skip racing to the airport at the end of this game. Let's go to the post-game press conference. I have a feeling that the quarterback of this winning team is going to be given a whole lot of credit to the running game and the offensive line.
Yeah, I was just going to say the offensive line. Yes, carrying the ball has been key, but those guys up front, they've made a lot of space.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 16-yard line.
The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here.
A loss of a yard on the play, and it's 3rd down.
And with a 3rd and 13 here, the defense in a dime look.
So a victory here for the Washington football team.
And I think the game balls need to be distributed on the defensive side of the football, and I bet that you would agree.
Yeah, if you hold a team under 10 points, that's a job well done. Really well done. So I would say game balls for every starter and every key player who participated in this game.
Now, see, I only like one game ball. You're handing out multiple. Although I set you up by saying game balls plural, but
I like where we're going with this. Though you say one to represent like the best player of all of that, and I say multiples so that you keep everyone motivated and involved.
You're a man of the people.
I'm a man of the people. I thought I was the only child.
You get a game ball, and you get a game ball. Game balls for everybody.
So for Washington,
it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Cleveland to take on the Browns. Meanwhile, for the Cardinals, they'll drop to 0-2, and they'll get a home date next week against the Detroit Lions.